Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's video is all about the Tier 9 heavy Russian cruiser, Riga. The Riga is now available in game in early access in update 0.9.4 if one accumulates enough Soviet tokens, but will be fully researchable in update 0.9.5. Before delving a little deeper into how to set up our captain and ship build for the Riga, let me quickly go through some announcements. Congratulations to all the winners in the Ochakov giveaway from the previous Tallinn video. That giveaway is now closed, but if you happen to miss the video, you can find the link in the top right. I've got another premium Tier 8 Russian cruiser, the Piotr Bagration, to give away in this video. All you have to do is leave your in-game name and the server you play on in the comments section in the format you see on screen. This giveaway is a reward only for subscribers, so make sure to hit that sub button and click that bell icon to enable notifications so you don't miss out on upcoming videos, including more free ship giveaways. There are many more on the way, so make sure not to miss out on a chance to win one for free. I've got some additional prizes of community contributor containers for 2 runner-ups with some additional codes for Soviet containers and subscriber camos. DCC containers have a great chance of also dropping premium ships, so plenty of chances to pick up some nice prizes. As always guys, your continued support is greatly appreciated, and it feels great to be able to give something back. Let me quickly add, I've also started streaming World of Warships now on Twitch. You can find me here at the link on screen, so feel free to come on over and say hi. I'll leave the link at the end of the video and in the description below for your convenience. So with all that good stuff out of the way, let's take a closer look at the Riga. Riga's guns are its standout feature, with some of the best armor-piercing shell penetration and flight time among all Tier 9 techtree cruisers. This very high shell velocity and flat shell arcs, combined with the fact it gains improved dispersion at mid to short range, makes the Riga incredibly dangerous. Riga sports 9 220mm guns in a 3x3 turret layout with 2 fore and 1 aft. These turrets have a 180-degree turning time of 32.8 seconds with a reload time of 13.2 seconds. These 220mm cannons have a max firing range of 18 kilometers with a max dispersion of 173 meters, with uniform shell ballistics for both high explosive and armor-piercing rounds of 965 meters per second. Riga's high explosive rounds inflict a max damage of 3050, and with this build, including Demolition Expert and both fire boosting signal flags, can attain a max fire chance of 18%. You will have to deal with a lot of angled targets, so this increased fire chance is very helpful indeed. But Riga is not a long-range fire spammer. Armor piercing should be your preferred choice of armament, simply for the reasons I've already mentioned. Riga's AP rounds are capable of inflicting a max damage of 5750, and again the combination of high shell speed, flat arcs and increased penetration values makes Riga's AP quite potent. From my experience so far, I've noticed against flat broadsides, Riga does get quite a lot of overpens, but against very slightly angled targets, the amount of citadel penetrations increase significantly. So let's put this build up on screen here at this point, so you have it fresh in your mind while I explain why I've chosen this exact build, and why it works so well, while we continue to examine Riga's strengths and weaknesses. A perfect example here of the flat shell arcs in relation to islands. You can clearly see how far one must be positioned for your shells to even clear a relatively small island. The Cleveland was slightly angled, takes a citadel and he goes down. The only downside of having these amazing flat arcs is that you can't just simply sit behind an island and take cover to really bring its strengths to bear. I was just fortunate to take advantage of a very deep position here while relocating. Riga is going to have to do a lot of her best work in the open to be able to close the distance to mid to close range, to gain the benefits of this reduced dispersion, and use her radar to dominate map position. Being in the open for a cruiser, however, means you will be taking fire, and usually quite a lot of it. So operating from the flanks is preferable to avoid those nasty crossfires. This doesn't require one to be firing all the time, but using Riga's very strong AP to deliver short, crippling blows in a few quick salvos and then disengage if need be. Riga's very good armour is ideal for these kind of engagements, to be able to trade damage effectively while tanking it very well if maintaining proper angling. I would hasten to add it's very easy to fall into old habits and using HE on slightly angled battleships at long range, and I must admit to being guilty of this myself early on while playing the Riga. Your overall results will be generally underwhelming when trying to sit deep and farm fire damage, as can be seen clearly here by these couple of salvos. But it's a mistake easily made and simply remedied early on by consciously reminding yourself that armour piercing is nearly always your best choice. Here you can see a simple screenshot of Riga's armour layout. You can easily take a more detailed look in port, and I encourage you to do so. As you can see, Riga gets an armour belt of 140mm, which in itself isn't exactly mind-blowing, but combined with both a fore and aft end armour belt of 40mm, otherwise known as an icebreaker bow, Riga really does feel quite tanky, and will need to be considering the risks she needs to take to close the distance, to make her strengths shine. The rudder gets an additional layer of 130mm of protection, and the upper armour belt and main deck both have 35mm of armour. Make no mistake, Riga is a very well armoured cruiser, and it's essential to the ship's survivability, which is further reinforced by having the most hit points of any techtree cruiser at Tier 9, only bested by some premium cruisers like Alaska for example. This combination of good armour and a lot of hit points is further reinforced by having a max of 4 repair parties with this build, making Riga feel very resilient indeed. I've averaged over 1 million potential damage in the games I've played so far, with 2.6 million potential, and still surviving the game being the best so far, just to give you an idea of what kind of numbers are achievable. That's virtually a full HP Duke of York. I'm turning in to attempt to help my friendly Jean-Bart. We do have some backup from a Sims here as well. That Duke of York has fired, but it's high explosive, so not a big issue. The Riga has no torpedoes, so in situations like this, bow on to bow on, your guns are forced to do the talking. Our Sims has suicided there, but he has managed to get some torps. But meanwhile the plot has thickened, and another full HP Amagi has appeared. Additional fire there from the St. Louis. Duke of York is still focusing on me with high explosive, but I'm going to maintain fire on that Amagi. He is slightly angled. Just over 5600. I'm going to keep focus on this Amagi. Another 4000, and I'm going to use this island now to break line of sight with this Duke of York. Aim for his guns. He's still firing HE. Our Jean-Bart goes down. I'm going to quickly turn as quickly as possible. This Amagi is going to reappear on this side of the island any second. His guns still are turning. My rear guns catch the island. That's really unfortunate. Means the Amagi is going to have time to get up. A volley on me, and that does cost me over 8k. I am able to finish off the Amagi, but just the rear guns catching the end of the island there, that could have just been disastrous. I was fortunate to be able to turn to be slightly angled by the time the Amagi was ready to fire. Riga can feel a little sluggish in close contact engagements like this, with a turning circle of 920 meters and a rudder shift time of 9.2 seconds, and that is with the steering gears mod 1 in slot 4. Riga's speed is however quite good at 33.5 knots, and this can be further boosted to 35.2 knots when mounting the Sierra Mike signal flag. I've managed to evade the combined fire of both the Ibuki and St. Louis by dropping detection and going dark, and not before time either. I just have to give my repair party time to come off cooldown, relocate and prepare to re-engage. Riga gets a concealment rating of 57 with a full stealth build using both modules and captain skills, bringing Riga's sea-based detection range down to 11.6 kilometers, which is about average for her size and tier. Riga's detection range from the air is 6.7 kilometers, and while there were no carriers in this particular game, that tends to be rather the exception than general rule. Riga's AA defense is not bad, with a base rating of 76 and a max firing range of 6 kilometers, with 5 flak explosions per salvo, capable of inflicting just over 1600 damage. The continuous damage is 268, and I've been running the defensive fire consumable instead of hydro to further boost the AA's effectiveness. And although I didn't have a chance to show it off in this match, in other games when carriers have come calling, I've been able to shoot down regularly between 20 and 30 planes. I found the freedom in the captain build to use vigilance, which is very helpful when trying to operate in that mid to short range zone of engagement, as it brings you in range of virtually all the torpedo boats you regularly encounter. Riga does have a decent torpedo damage reduction of 19%, but being a cruiser you don't want to be eating torps, if at all possible, so I found vigilance to be very effective. I'm unable to resist the temptation of shooting that broadside St. Louis, while my original intention was to come in and surprise the Ibuki. I'm not quite sure what the Ibuki's plan is, but this game is still very finely balanced. It's 3 cruisers on 3 cruisers, and they do enjoy a healthy hit points advantage. The Ibuki is taking quite a bit of damage, and he actually goes down, and that it could prove crucial. We have lost our Bayard, so it's now a 2-on-2 situation. We've traded a very low health Bayard for a relatively healthy Ibuki. Shots out another citadel on that St. Louis. He is tunnel visioned on my friendly Neptune and still showing broadside, and that is a big mistake against the Riga. He eats another 2 citadels. He's finally got the message. He started to angle away. While I hunt down this St. Louis and try and secure the Kraken Unleashed, let me remind you once again to enter the giveaway for the Piotr Bagration by leaving a comment below including your in-game name and the server you play on. And feel free to hit that like button. It really helps out the channel immensely, so thank you in advance. I've noticed in previous giveaways only a small percentage of subscribers are entering, so I fear a lot of you are missing out on the chance to get some free premium ships. So make sure to click that bell icon to enable notifications, as I have more giveaways coming very soon. I can't mention the exact ships yet, as they are still being tested, but enabling notifications will ensure you know when the giveaways are happening. This St. Louis is proving to be a bit of a slippery customer. I have changed to HE. Managed to get a couple of hits. 6 penetrations, and you can see the HE is a little bit underwhelming. Will I be able to secure it? The Neptune barely misses. And we secured the Kraken Unleashed. To finish up, very nice game. The mines decided he didn't want to fight, and he ran away. The game ended soon afterwards. Couple of achievements, over 140,000 damage, and almost 2500 base XP. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.